and why. For example, that boy I just told you about, we had to cite why he was in both classes, not why he was not only in my class, why he had two different classes. We put that on his IEP. It's required that an IEP account for planning concerns of the parents and the child, the strengths of a particular child, and the academic, developmental, and functional needs of the child. So it's not only referring to their educational needs, they also have developmental needs, functional needs. Some children need help going to the bathroom even though the general education class doesn't need that. So there are all sorts of needs that we need to meet for these children. The student I just referenced a minute ago, I sat in all of his IEP meetings last year. It was a team of his parents came because they get to have say in his education plan. His special education teacher was there, our principal was there, our counselor was there, our speech pathologist was there, and we all got to share ideas and come up with the best possible plan for their child. The parents got to say what they thought was going well or what they wanted changed, and the teachers got to give their input about what they see in class and what we thought we would be able to do to help him. So this is a little bit of how the IEP works. You gather information, then you set the direction. After you set the direction, you have all your information in place, you get together with your team of professionals and you develop the IEP. After the IEP is developed, you implement the IEP, which means we put it into action. Whatever we discussed during the IEP meeting, we now put it into action. And then we review and update the IEP. We review the goals that we've set. Is he meeting his goals? Is he or she meeting his goals or her goals? What changes can we do to accommodate them? And then after we review it and update it, we gather more information. It's an ongoing process. You keep assessing to determine how they're doing. Have they reached a goal? Do we need to set a new goal because they're doing so well? So those are the 5 phases of the IEP process. The next component of IDEA is procedural due process. This act ensures confidentiality of reports, the right to view all records, obtain their own evaluation, receive written notification of any changes regarding their child's education, and an impartial hearing, if necessary, when disagreements take place. Parents also have the right to legal counsel under this component of IDEA. So this means that we're not going to go out and we're going to say so-and-so has these disabilities and talk about them. We keep this confidential between our team of professionals. We do not go talk to our friends. We do not go talk to other teachers if they're not involved in this process. We are required to keep it personal. And that just is obvious that no one wants their business thrown out there, so it makes sense that we keep it confidential. The next component of IDEA is non-discriminatory assessment. Before a child is placed into a certain program or classroom, they must be evaluated by a multidisciplinary team. That means one person does not look at this child and say that child needs to move to that classroom. That's not how it works. That is not how the law is written. There has to be many different people and many different assessments to place the child. Assessments must not be racially, culturally, or linguistically biased. The child needs to understand what you are saying in an assessment. If a child speaks Spanish and you give them an assessment in English, they're not going to do well because they're not understanding. So even if you feel that there might be a special need for this child, you have to make sure you do it in their language so that they can understand what is being asked of them. So the last one is many different assessments must be performed by trained personnel. Like I said a minute ago, One person can't do it. You might need your speech pathologist, you might need your special education teacher, you might need your counselor. There are many different people that play a part in assessing the child. And the next component of IDEA, move this down so we can get to the next slide, is parental participation. PL 94-142 requires meaningful parent involvement. This is also called the Parents' Law. Parental participation requires that parents participate entirely in the decisions made that affect their child's education. So, like I said, I sat in IEP meetings with students that have been coming into my class. The parents are always there. You tell the parents what you think, what your plan is, what you're seeing, but the parents always have a say in what's going on. They can tell you if they agree, they can tell you if they disagree, they can give you ideas, they can tell you if they love your ideas, if they don't like your ideas. So parents are always, and guardians, if the child is not living with their parent, their guardian is allowed to participate and required to participate in their educational plan. So, laws to protect the rights of students, parents, families, and teachers. There have been numerous laws passed to protect the rights of students, parents, families, guardians, and teachers. The following slides include laws that protect those involved in the educational process. Teachers' rights are protected by freedom of discrimination. The Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment of the Constitution protects teachers at public schools from discrimination based on race, sex, and national origin. These are also covered under the Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964.